Hey, by the way, tonight's game, New York wins that outright.
You know he's on top. Million subs, he never gonna flop. Out of Chicago, where the streets don't sleep. Betting on games, making cash real deep. Crystal ball for sports, he knows the lines. He's a sports aficionado, the money he finds. From football to basketball, he's always on point. Predicting winners never disappoints. He's got that hustle, that Chicago vibe. Making moves on the streets, cash on the side. With E, you know it's always a bet. He's the king of the game, never forget.
My mic was muted. That is my bad. Welcome to the Etoft21sports Show for December 9th. How is everyone doing? My name is Eric. I'm the man behind Etoft21sports. Absolutely loaded episode for you today. My boy Bryce from the Etoft Sports Pod is this week's special guest. Him and I are going to look back at Week 14, share our Week 15 bets, and Gino will have his horse racing bet of the day. Before we get all that, I would like to say thank you to the sponsor of the show, Prop X. Guys, if you're not using Prop X, go to the App Store, download the Prop X app, use promo code TOFT21. That way they know old Uncle Rico sent you. Now, let's shift our attention over to Oaklawn and see what Gino's horse racing bet of the day is.
Oaklawn Park opens up this week. Let's take a look over there for a horse that we like, race number 8. It's the Ring the Bell. This is on Saturday, December the 13th, and we're going to look towards the outside. Number 7, Banishing, has just been in fantastic form all throughout the year. I mean, we can not really worry about his last race. That was in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. It's against the best sprinters. He didn't have the best of starts. He was down towards the inside. It just wasn't a great trip, and in a race where there wasn't a whole lot of passing. Look at the races before that. He's third behind Mystic Dan. He's, in races behind Mindframe. He's dead heating with Nisos, Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile winner. He's finishing in front of Skippy Longstocking. This is a really nice horse. He doesn't have to be as far back as he was last time out. He likes Oaklawn. He's run some of his best races right here. Banishing, he's 3-1. If he's anything over 5-2 or so, I think that's very fair on Banishing. Number 7 is race number 8 on Saturday over at Oaklawn. Best of luck, and make sure to tune in every week for all the best information in sports from Eric.
Make sure to give my boy Gino a follow at It's Me, Gino B on social media. And also check him out at drf.com. I'll be joining him this week on DRF, previewing the NFL slate. Now let's welcome my boy from Houston, the man. I'm sure it's been an emotional week with you after Sunday. His Chiefs going down to the Texans. My boy Bryce. Bryce, what's up, dude? How you been, man?
I've had better days as a Chiefs fan, but happy to be back in the pod, Eric. Always good to chop it up with you. It's definitely been a long season, man. Been a long season for sure, and Sunday was kind of like the microcosm of the whole Chiefs season if you watch that game from start to finish, man. But we'll get into that.
Hey, man, all I know is you came on here for the AFC West preview. I gave out under 11.5, plus 350 not to make the playoffs. We talked about it. You talked to me after about it. I think you sent me 2 text messages after about it. I have yet to rub it in, dude. I have yet to rub it in. It's what the records show, man. I have yet to rub it in. So, But let's kind of look back. Like, I'm going to ask you this as a Chiefs fan. Do you think Kelsey needs to retire?
Yes and no. Problem is, and I think I might have said this on the pod for the AFC West too, is Kelsey is what? I think he's 36, I think going on 37, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. He can't be your number one target anymore. I think the last 3 games, the percentage of snaps he's played is 88, 91, 89. 3 weeks in a row, he's got the most snaps on the offensive side of the ball besides the O-line and Patrick Mahomes. That can't happen. You got to have someone else, be that go-to. And Travis Kelce really just be an outlet every now and again at this stage in his career. That was supposed to be Rashee Rice. Seems he's got the yips lately, back-to-back games with crucial third and fourth down drops that were easily catchable balls. I mean, it seems like now every time Travis Kelce does drop the ball, it's like the worst outcome ever. It's always tipped into an interception. So there is a portion of Chiefs Kingdom, calling for him to just retire, hang him up. I mean, he's got obviously first ballot Hall of Fame career. He could hang him up right now. Wouldn't tarnish anything that he's done. But I just feel like I'll swing a question back to you. You're in the mindset of Andy Reid is calling the plays, right?
Yeah.
Or would you think about it? So maybe it's a bit too dramatic to just flat out fire Andy Reid, given everything he's done for the Chiefs organization. But at the very least, they have to clean house of every single other person on the offensive staff. Because for 3 years now, we've had this same core of guys with Nagy, the OC, same running back coach, 2 special teams, and it's been god awful. They've had every excuse in the book where it's the wide receivers couldn't catch in 23. Last year, it was the line. This year, we have a decent line. We got all our weapons, and the offense still looks as stellar as can be. I mean, I'm sure if you've sat down and just watched Chiefs games this year, you can almost call out what plays we're going to run. We ran one run from under center this past weekend versus the Texans. When we line up in shotgun on third and fourth and 1, Kareem Hunt has a higher percentage on third and short, fourth and short, than the Eagles do running the tush push. So you would think, when it's third or fourth or short, just go under center, hand it to Kareem. It's automatic. No, that's not what Andy Reid does. He's the one calling the plays. I've been calling for Matt Nagy to be fired, but if it is Reid, he's 68 years old. He's been coaching the Chiefs now. I think this is his 12th year, I want to say maybe. Yeah, 11th or 12th year. I think we've squeezed the orange pretty dry. Like, we've gotten everything we could get from Andy Reid. He's obviously one of the greatest coaches of all time, one of the greatest offensive minds of all time, but he hasn't adapted well to this new game and new philosophies of offense. We're still running the same stale stuff. And yes, Matt Nagy is god awful. That's what I'm saying. If it's not Reid simply just getting fired, because I don't think you can fire a coach like that.
And I mean,
but gotta clear everybody else out.
I don't think firing Reid is the right idea, just because you look how much it took Philly time to recover from firing him. And I mean, I think there's certain guys you just can't do it. Obviously, I don't think you can do it with Reid just because he's Andy Reid. Yeah. Matt Nagy is god awful. He's only there because he's his friend. I think getting rid of him would be something to kind of look into. Definitely get a different offensive mind in there. In terms of Kelce, where's that comment?
Say Matt Nagy was college teammates with our GM Brett Veach.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going anywhere, dude. There's no way he's going anywhere with that being said. With that connection there is no way that he is going anywhere. I think though that you guys have been so good for so long, and you guys Jones is up there. Jones, that's the big thing to me. Jones has no pop defensively, and I think. Honestly, I think as crazy as it sounds, you guys have played so many games. What is it, 100 games in 5 years?
Yeah, we played a full season more than anybody else, just given our playoff success over the last 5-6 years.
I think you guys not making the playoffs this year is going to help you guys 2 more years, if that makes 7.
I'm in the same boat because, like you said, Chris Jones has no more pop. The problem is the one mistake I think Brett Veach did make is you look at the Patriots dynasty. Belichick was known for it. He's not paying guys a second contract for, unless they're just truly spectacular. And sometimes even the truly spectacular guys, he still would trade, recoup with picks or something. We paid too many guys this offseason that didn't deserve to get paid. Bolton got $80 million contract. Karlaftis is getting paid, I think, 63 guaranteed. Noah Gray, our backup tight end who can't catch a ball either now, 3 years, $18 million for no reason. It's now we probably are going to have to trade McDuffie because you can't pay him top cornerback money, and we need to kind of recoup and regroup on defense, however you want to call it. The defensive line, I don't know who's in charge of scouting for our defensive line, but we've completely whiffed on every single draft pick over the last 3-4 years. So that's partially what's messing up Chris Jones too, because Chris Jones, like you said, is another year older. You double team him, he's not as effective as he used to be in his prime. but someone else has to be able to get home. Like I said, Karlaftis getting paid $63 million. Karlaftis is nowhere to be found. If you're not a Chiefs fan, you would never know Karlaftis is even on the field. He makes no plays. He's got some games where he's got pressures, but the pressures aren't turning into anything. We have a bunch of young drafted players, and I'm like, I don't know what. Like, I love Spagnuolo too, but it's almost like you said, they've been winning for so long. I think they've gotten so complacent. Like, no, our system is gonna work. Like, we're gonna fit the round circle and the square peg. And it's like, we got a cornerback, Noah Williams, rookie. He's great in coverage. Why is he not playing more snaps? And we can put McDuffie back in the slot. Yeah. Our linebacker, Jeffrey Bossa from Oregon, another mid-round draft pick. Why does he not see the field? We have old-ass Drew Tranquil, who can't guard a tight end or back to save his life. Like, our linebackers are awful in coverage, and shoot, you might as well, if you're playing the Chiefs, you want to be in a 3rd and 15 or more. Our defense is giving up 3rd and 15s like it's nothing. Like, anytime we go to 3rd and long, I can't even get excited because I know the defense isn't getting off the field. They're just gonna let whoever get a first down. So it's been a rough year, but like you said, they probably do need to miss the playoffs. There's still, I think, like a 12% chance, but that involves the Chiefs winning 4 games in a row. And at this point, I don't even know if they'll win their next game versus the Chargers, let alone win 4 in a row. And then they still need help on the back end from other teams. So yeah, it's time to hit a little mini reset. Kind of got to regroup and go back at it with another group of guys. But they got everything they got from the 3 Hall of Famers, Mahomes, Jones, Kelsey. They carried this team to a dynasty, and they can no longer carry with where they're at in their career. They need better help on other parts of the team. So
I mean, like, I think Kelsey is done. I mean, I'd be shocked if he played one more year. But you guys, everything you said, you hit the nail on the head. Scouting's got to be better, especially when you're playing those top end contracts. You need to nail those draft picks. And if you don't nail those draft picks, there's no point. There's absolutely no point. My takeaway is the Bengals play calling absolutely cost them that game. This is a team, a lot of sharp bettors were calling for a sleeper to come out of the AFC North, which has been a train wreck. And honestly, since Burrow came back, offenses look better. Defenses actually look better. Things were trending up. They go up 10 points with 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. From that point on, they ran the ball 1 time against a team that is 30th DVOA against the run, gives up 135.2 rushing yards per game, and you only were in it once. What are we doing here? Run the ball, control the clock. You have Chase Brown, a guy who has already shown he can be a lead back in this league, and you don't use him at the most important moments of your season. And now your season is probably over. You wasted another Joe Burrow year. And honestly, that kind of decision making, I'll be honest, I think Zach Taylor's gone. I think this is the year they get rid of Taylor. I think they move on from him. This year, if they would have made the playoffs, obviously they're going to have to keep him 1 more year. But I think right here, that is the nail in the coffin. Zach Taylor, adios, my friend. You are gonzo. And I think they really blew it right there because neither the Steelers or the Ravens, and we have all this Reddit stuff. Have you seen that with the Reddit stuff from the Ravens?
Yeah, I was going to say, are we staring at the possibility where the AFC North, every team has a new coach at the start of next season? Because honestly, after this weekend, I thought for sure Monday morning we should have woke up to news that Stefanski was fired after that mess he pulled on that 2-point try, taking Shadur off the field and then calling whatever play that was. Harbaugh, I've seen the Reddit stuff where you talking about the leak with the leak one of the players'
the ex-girlfriend, yeah.
That said they're basically done with Harbaugh. It was seen that way, and like I think we talked about this last time I was on your pod. Every time there's an injury with Lamar, what Harbaugh is giving to the press and media about the injury updates is never in line with what's actually going on according to Lamar. And it's like they've never really meshed well. So I think there is something to that. And yeah, Zach Taylor, he's got to go. This is 3 years in a row now. You have arguably a top 5 quarterback, arguably top 2, top 1 wide receiver, however you want to rank Jamar Chase, and you've missed the playoffs now 3 years, and that just can't happen. He's got to go. And Mike Tomlin, I mean, They're probably gonna still end up winning the division at 9-8. You know, Mike Tomlin's good to have a winning record, never below 500. But then they're just gonna get waxed in the wild card, and at that point, how many more years are this Pittsburgh is just gonna be okay with just being average?
I heard a great thing when it came to Mike Tomlin. Okay, now the thing you got to look like this: Tomlin is taking these guys that are just dog shit players, and he's dragging them to the playoffs. What they need, okay, hear me out here. They need him to have like a bounty gate thing, like happened to Sean Payton. Dog shit for a year, where he's suspended. He has to sit out. They get the high draft pick, get the quarterback, and then boom, you're all set.
Okay.
Because, like, I'll be honest, like, when you look back and you look at this roster, what other coach is going to have this roster as a division leading team? This roster is shit.
Oh, it's horrible. And TJ Watt looks like he's only getting older and older by the day. I completely agree. But that's where I'm like, how much of it is on Tomlin? How much of it is on the front office? Because, like,
I think
they put no backup plan for Big Ben for years, and then he retired, and then they've just been running it back with, like,
he's out here winning games with Duck fucking Hodges, dude. Like, you got Duck Hodges. You got Mason Rudolph. Did you see the shit with Mason Rudolph here in Chicago? Like, the app, there's like some app, and if you make X, you're able to, X amount of money, you're able to make a dating profile on it. And Mason Rudolph had that live and well in Chicago, dude. Like, the profile was like, in Chicago for a work trip, looking to hang. You know, and it was all over social media here. So, and Aaron Rodgers, who is just old as shit, dude. Yeah. Like, old as shit. And he's like winning games. Real quick, did you hear that story that none of the Pittsburgh Steelers' wives or girlfriends have seen Aaron Rodgers' wife?
I've heard it. I mean, I would not put it past Aaron Rodgers to make up some type of story about being married in secret this offseason and blah, blah, blah.
And then there's nothing there. I mean,
there's nothing there. No telling. But I would not put that past him.
Now, obviously, before we get into the bets and everything, there's some big news with the college football playoffs. Notre Dame not in. What are your thoughts on the old college football playoffs?
Oh, man, I don't know what the committee values anymore besides this is all just money scheme, SEC. It's all trash. I don't get how you can say the statement that the conference championship doesn't matter for Alabama, who finished with -3 rushing yards, have 3 losses on the season, and at the same time say the beginning of the year matters. Okay, well, the beginning of the year, Alabama lost to Florida State, who finished unranked. And then you have BYU, who I'm not saying they're better, but we can't keep doing all just basing this stuff off of hypotheticals if the rules don't just apply the same across the board. They only have 2 losses, both to Texas Tech, who looks like a really damn good team. And they also were in their conference championship and lost to Texas Tech, who's the number 2 team now in the rankings. So it's like, what criteria are you going off of? And then the fact that they even had, before this week happened, the fact they even had Notre Dame over Miami, when it's like, okay, if 2 teams have the same record, why do you not just go off the head? I don't care if it was the beginning, the middle, the end. They played head-to-head. One team won. Just give the other team the nod. It's like, just be done with it. But they wanted to create all this commotion with it and then flip. But then they didn't even flip the right way because it's like, okay, if you're going to make the argument the conference championship didn't hold that much weight, you got to at least bump Alabama down to 10. They can't just stay number 9. Yeah. We're about to have a rematch of, we just watched Oklahoma and Bama play like 3 weeks ago. Like, what is the point of having a conference if you just want us to keep watching the same SEC team duke it out?
If those teams are going to be in it, that should be flipped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we also get a rematch with Ole Miss and
Tulane. I was like,
and Tulane. You know, like who the fuck wants to see Ole Miss and Tulane again?
Yeah, and Ole Miss 6 seed. they lost their head coach Lane Kiffin, obviously, with all that mess going on. I get that they brought back some of the staff that's going to leave to LSU after the fact to try to help them, but it's like we seen Florida State get booted out of the college football playoff because they lost their quarterback and they were undefeated, and Ole Miss doesn't move at all. And I'm like, okay, can y'all just say that you're in the SEC? The SEC is in your pockets, and that's why you're just doing this stuff. At this point, it's almost like just have the SEC just keep their conference. They each play each other twice, and they can crown themselves their own national championship. Let everybody else just duke it out and have their own NCAA, because that's all we're getting to at this point. And I'm willing to bet by the end of this, 3 of the 4 teams that make the Final Four won't be SEC teams. And I think we might end up with a rematch of either Indiana, Ohio State, or Texas Tech versus one of those two. Like that's what I feel like is going to end up in the championship. And it's going to be, what is that, the 3rd year in a row the SEC doesn't win the title. And if there is going to be any fix, I don't know how you fix the playoffs because, like I said, it's broken. But my one thing would be, can we just get rid of preseason rankings and let's rank teams like after like week 5 or something once we've seen them all play? Because the SEC is also benefiting from, we're going to rank all these teams in the top 25 and we're going to keep them there. So when the season ends, we can be like, well, Bama had this win and this win versus a top 25 ranked team. Missouri didn't beat any team with the winning record all year, but they're still ranked in the top 25 at the end of the year. And that helps other SEC teams' resume. It's like, that's bogus to me.
The thing to me is this. Bama was outgained by 200 yards against fucking Auburn. Auburn had 3 red zone turnovers. Like, they easily could have lost that game. And the thing to me is, it's a lot like the WWE. It's just what people think. You know what I mean? A lot of it is you have these older guys that are just using their opinion for it. Obviously, you can tell a lot. FanDuel had the projected sport, like the spreads up. Notre Dame was laying 5.5 at Oklahoma. Then it was changed to Alabama. It went down to basically Bama laying 1 pick'em. So they have Notre Dame favored over Alabama. And you're telling me that Alabama, a 3-loss Alabama team, deserves to be in?
Yeah.
I just want the standard to be set. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel a 3-loss team should be in. Like, hell, put a 2-loss team. Vandy, whoever in.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, whoever. If you want to punish Notre Dame because their schedule is soft, that's fine. I get it. But I just want consistency, and I just don't want – I want new talking heads in there. I think the old talking heads are kind of missing the point. ESPN is totally driven to the SEC. I mean, that's the thing that gives them all the money. All the SEC football, totally driven to the SEC, which I get, which I understand, whatever. But Notre Dame bouncing from a bowl. I think that
season is dead. It's been moving towards that for the last couple of years, but now it's like there's no. You might as well. I was talking to a coworker earlier today about this, but he was like, you might as well just make it like the March Madness version of college football and make all the bowl games within the bracket to like make them worth it to play. But if not, it's like you used to look forward to like this particular time of year, holiday season. All the bowl games every single day. You're gonna get to watch good matchups because it might be the Outback Bowl, but these 2 teams, South Carolina and Michigan, they care about this game. Yeah. Like they're gonna go play. Jadeveon Clowney is gonna play in this, and it's like now it's like, I'm out. I'm in the transfer portal for one. I think did you hear about the Sam Levitt got ASU quarterback couldn't even show up to his team's banquet. Yeah. He's so eager to get in the portal. I'm like, man, what is going on? And then my last take on it is, if you're a UT fan or we're vouching for UT to get in, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
They're like, we'll just schedule cupcakes. Like, you weren't penalized for losing to Ohio State. Like, matter of fact, like, you lost to Ohio State game 1, you were still in the top 10. You lost again, we're still in the top 10. Then because you were UT in the preseason ranked number 1, they put you back. You fell out of the ranks. Then they immediately put you back in as soon as you beat some cupcakes. And then you lose to 4-8 Florida, and you're talking about, well, we beat A&M at the end of the year, and so we deserve to get in. You can't not reward us because we played a tougher schedule, then win the games you're supposed to win. If you just lose to Ohio State, nobody bats an eye. You're in. It's like, what is the point? We're not just going to set the precedent of putting in all these 3-loss SEC teams because they're from the SEC. That's not how this works, and it shouldn't ever work like that.
I also feel that one group of 5 team is enough for me.
I would agree with that. We could do without a James Madison or Tulane.
You know,
that's only going to make them cry even more when they get blocked.
Also, the thing is the more people, the more you open it up, the more there's going to be teams pissed off. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. The more you open it up, there's going to be more teams pissed off they didn't get in it, and that's just the way it is. I also think that Vanderbilt, Utah, you want to talk about them? Yeah, I totally get though. 2 losses, but a 3-loss team in my eyes should not be
at all.
It's complete hogwash that a team like that is in there. Also, in terms of bowl season, I think you're right. You know, it's completely DOA. I love bowl season, but with these opt-outs, it has made what you and I do betting extremely hard. Like, if you miss these lines, you missed them. Like, case in point, I just had the sportsbook open, luckily on my lap, while I was watching the games on Sunday, and they popped for Navy and Cincinnati in whatever bowl game they're playing. It opened up at Navy plus 5.5. I mean, I put the 5.5, the plus 170 in, no problem. Boom. Like, within 5 minutes, like, it's 4.5. I checked this morning, it's a pick 'em. You know what I mean? Just because these bigger schools, stuff is going to be leaving. And I like the mid-majors, man. Like for me betting, a lot of FIU, a lot of CMU, a lot of Western Michigan. Those are my schools. But now, like, I usually am able to get an extra game in the bowl season. Now, I think bowls are dead. Like, someone predicted, was it Neuheisel? I saw him on X. He said it was going to be bowl games are going to start the year now. Like, you'll have the bowl games to start the year as kind of like the before the conference stuff, just as a way to kind of keep them, which is an interesting thought. But yeah, with what Notre Dame did, I completely get it. And I know people are going to say, what about the other teams? Look, if your coach bounced, I get it. I get it. If your coach bounced, the coaching staff is done, you don't want to go. The kids voted on it. I totally get it. A team that's 5-7, everyone's talking about these 5-7 teams like opting out. Well, they're already gone. You know what I mean? Like, the season ended for them. They've already cleared out their fucking lockers.
Yeah, they've been done.
Now you're going to go track down 60 some odd kids to come back. Some of them already left campus. That's just way too much, man.
The fact they even extended an offer out to my Kansas Jayhawks, like they don't even deserve to be sniffing a bowl game, and they decline because nobody's playing, and
they're all gone. They're literally they're all fucking gone. You know what I mean? They're out. They're gone. So it's just, I don't know, man. Like, it definitely. I love bowl season. You know, I love the stuff. I'm RIP Bahamas Bowl. You're gonna be missed. But I mean, it's just not what it used to be. Like, and you and I were, you know, when you and I were kids, it's not what it used to be. You know what I mean? And maybe we're adults now and we look at it a little bit differently. Yeah. But now it's just kind of like it's just not what it used to be, and it's sad. Let's go ahead. Let's shift our attention to some bets for Week 15. Before we do that, let's take a gander back at how we did last week on the show. Disappointing 2-4 last week with David hitting the Lions -3, Steelers +6, but losing the Commanders +110. Old Uncle Rico lost Gibbs over 75.5 rushing yards. The Jets +3 and the Falcons +7.5. For the show, we are 46-35-3. Yeah, rough week last week for the show. In fairness, I had the Lions -3 and the Steelers +6. And David didn't look at the sheet. David put it in the sheet, so I had to change my bets. And I will say this: the Falcons played the Seahawks tough for a half, and then the wheels kind of.
Sam Darnold was looking like Sam Darnold that first half, and then explosion. I was like, oh my god.
Hey,
I had him on his props. I was like, can we please step? You're playing in Atlanta. Can we please step it up? Thankfully, he did. But
there was a comment. A couple quick comments before we get into these. I just seen these right now.
Yeah.
Need to change the subject. Will Giannis get traded?
I mean, I feel like at this point, it's almost the only option. I feel like
Shams has been adamant, just adamant he's going to get traded. Now, here's the thing: I take a step back at the East. Okay, I step back and I look at the East. If I'm Giannis, okay, I take a step back and I look at the East. I mean, do you really fear the Knicks? Do you know the Celtics don't have Tatum? 76ers have Embiid. Miami has nothing. I mean, I think the potential is there if they can kind of like right, obviously, the flaws in this roster to do something. But I'll be honest, at this point, I think they just need to decide what he wants to do and do it.
Yeah.
If I'm the Bucks, though, I'm definitely going to make sure I get the right trade. It is the thing is it's hysterical to me because I was commenting on some things and someone wrote down the Spurs trade. And I'm like, look, dude, if I'm the Bucks, I'm not trading him to the Spurs unless I get Dylan Harper. I want picks and Dylan Harper. That's what I want. And I go, if they throw in Harper, this guy commented to me, he commented back and he's like, 0 chance. This has to be like a Paul George type trade. So what this guy failed to realize is right now with the current CBA, no one who knows what they're doing is going to give up that amount of picks because with the different aprons, you can't fucking do that shit anymore. Then you see these people are saying, oh, well, dude, a heat package with Ware and Hero and picks, that's a home run. Like what? Like that, like nothing. You know what I mean? Like you kind of sit back and you listen to this stuff and you're like, what the hell are you effing talking about? And then the other one, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, couple picks to the Lakers. I'm like, dude, these are awful fucking trade packages. And then you go to the person's header that sent them, and they're from that team.
Yeah, the team.
Gun to my head. I don't think he retires a Buck.
Yeah, I don't think that either. I guess because I keep hearing the report is he wants to go to New York. So what's the package that would make sense to you that could come from New York? Because I mean, I don't know what exactly might be the player that's holding it up on New York's end, if that is what's the talks. But I'm like, if it's Cat and some other people, I would do that if I'm New York because I don't think you're ever getting a championship with Karl Anthony Towns as your number 2. That's just me personally. I know we spoke extensively on how we both feel about Karl Anthony Towns over a couple of years.
They have no picks. Like I think the Bucks want picks, but they have no fucking picks to give up. And that's the thing. Like you don't have picks. This isn't going to cut it.
Isn't that because they gave up like 5 picks for Mikal Bridges or something?
Bridges. Like, I don't know, man. And then something came out today that the Pistons could send, what was it? Harris, Jaden Ivory, expiring contracts, and picks for Anthony Davis. I'm like, he's going to play 10 games and miss the playoffs with the calf strain. What the fuck are we doing?
And you literally have a young up-and-coming player. I'm a big fan of Jalen Durant. I think he's going to be really good.
He's a stud. He's a fucking stud.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here? But we're not here to talk about NBA. We'll get into that in a couple of months. Thoughts on the Raiders kick?
Investigate.
Okay, well, here's my thing. Okay, here's my thing. Now, full transparency, I did have the Raiders plus 8.5. I did have the Raiders plus 8.5. Home divisional dog betting 101. You gotta take that. Now, this is my thing, and I'm not going to go on a big tirade like I've gone before about this guy, but there's a lot of people in the gambling space that know jack fucking shit that have big followings. And when one of those guys makes a video because he made a terrible bet, and he goes on saying he's going to murder the guy, he is going to investigation. Like, that guy knows dick and fucking shit about sports betting. He just has a company that has a lot of followers, and he's gone into that, and him and his knuckleheads spew some of the most stupidest shit in the world. And he posts these huge shit saying he's a DraftKings partner. Bryce, have I ever told you how much DraftKings allows me to get down on a live bet? I can't bet over $20 on a live bet on DraftKings. I can't. Like, it just says error. And this dude is we're supposed to believe this guy's a successful bettor, and he's betting $20K on these little shitty ass parlays that he's putting together. It's like, you just hear this stuff, and it's just absolutely fucking mind blowing that his dog and pony show, he gets all these people to fucking listen to. But I'm not here to badmouth anybody. I'm just here to speak facts. But let's.
No, I agree. I don't know. Look, he's bamboozled his way all the way into a morning show on Fox. I'm like, no. This doesn't even need to be on air.
And then you get these people that talk about. This is the one thing. Like, don't even get me started with Fanatics. I think they're a fucking joke. About the player getting hurt scenario. Now you're a young fella. Okay. The offshore stuff back in the day, there's a site 5 Dimes. Okay. There's this guy, Tony, that ran 5 Dimes. Tony would be having a fucking field day with all these people bitching about players getting hurt. I look at it like this. It's called betting. You're risking money. If someone gets hurt, it gets hurt. When you see all these superstars get hurt, Fanatics is going to refund every bet because Baker Mayfield left early for the first half. You know what's funny? What starting quarterback left after one series last week? Tyrod Taylor. Did we see Fanatics post anything about, hey, we're refunding the Tyrod Taylor bets?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a fucking dog and pony show to get all these novice bettors to go there. It's fucking pathetic. You know what I mean? And then you get the people with these big followings reposting and saying, oh, wow, great sportsbook. Way to get consumers back. The sportsbook are not people's friends. They give a fuck about. They're here to make money. If they can coerce you to come in and do that. Now, another thing with Fanatics, a couple weeks ago, I went to bet. They had the lowest prop on a Justin Jefferson over. Okay. An insane low prop. I wanted to put $200 on. Okay. Now, guess how much money they said I could get down on it?
Probably what, like $15?
$10.
$10.
Max. $10 max until the line changes. What? And you're telling me this is my friend who's gonna fix the line and look out for me? It's like, dude, I could go on about this stuff all day, dude. This could be a 3-hour rant to me about the sports bullshit. But let's go ahead. Let's jump in the bets. What is your first bet, my friend?
Pains me to do this, but if the Chiefs are gonna break my heart, I might as well win some money too. Chargers plus 4.5. Look, the scenario for the Chiefs to get in the playoffs is they have to win all remaining 4 games. They have to have the Chargers lose. I think it's obviously to us this weekend, either to the either the Texans or the Cowboys, but they have to lose to Denver in Week 18 for us to even chance of making the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes is now 9-17 against the spread in his last 26 games, including 4-11 versus teams above 500. They're giving us 1.5 points over field goal. This Chiefs team is not. They're not good. They're not well coached right now. They're undisciplined. Even if the Chiefs somehow miraculously win this game, because I don't think we're even going to win this game. I think it's just it's really about to just hit the deep end for us. it would be by a field goal. Every matchup with the Chargers comes down to a last possession. Week 1, when was that? Was that Brazil? I think that's where they played at week 1. Came down to the last possession, a 3rd and 15. Chris Jones loses contain. Herbert runs down, ices the game. So definitely rock with Chargers plus 4.5. And hey, if this doesn't cover for whatever reason, it means my Chiefs won. Woohoo. But yeah, I just can't see the Chiefs getting it together this weekend.
Chiefs mailing it in, man. I like this, dude. Like, I think the Chargers have a little fight to them. They're feisty. They're a feisty bunch. They're going to look to run the ball. And I don't know, like, how is KC going to react? You know what I mean? We have never really seen them in this spot. How are they going to react to being in this spot? My next one, I'm going to Thursday Night Football. I'm going to take Kyle Pitts over 57.5 receiving yards. Since Kirk Cousins has become the starter, Pitts has a 29% target share leading the team. And we all know targets equal opportunity. Over the stretch, he's averaging 7.7 targets, 5 catches, and 65.7 yards per game since Cousins took over, leading the Falcons in targets, receptions, and yards. We look at the matchup. Tampa runs zone coverage 72% of the time per PFF. And we look at Pitts' numbers against zone: 55 targets, 42 receptions, 76.4% catch rate, 9.3 yards per catch, 7.1 yards per target. He's gone over this number in 2 of his last 3 games, all of which were Cousins starting at quarterback. And historically, he's been produced against the Bucs. He's gone over this number in 5 of 7 career games against Tampa, averaging 6.4 targets, 4.7 receptions, and 66.1 yards. He's actually gone over this total his last 4 straight against the Bucs. Now, when we look at the Bucs, they're stout against the run, 9th DVOA, allowing the 8th fewest rushing yards. I expect Atlanta to actually lean on the passing game here. Pitts has been the number 1 option since Cousins took over. He's had consistent success against a Todd Bowles defense. Everything lines up. I'm taking Kyle Pitts over 57.5 receiving yards for Thursday Night Football. Next bet, my friend.
Texans 9.5. This season for the Cardinals, it started off semi-decent. They dropped a few close games, and obviously the whole Kyler Murray thing. Kobe Brissett comes in, looks decent. Obviously, they got that win against the Cowboys, but ever since then, it's just been downhill. They're mailing it in. That Texans defense is so elite. This game could finish 10-0. I don't think Cardinals are going to put up over 10 points, really. It's at home for the Texans, who are absolutely rolling. I think they're on, like a 6-game win streak right now. Yeah. And basically, they went out. They have a chance to win the AFC South, depending on how the Jaguars finish out. But compared to how they started the season, where obviously the defense has been number 1 all year, but the offense wasn't producing. Now they've got things rolling. Back at home, coming off a big win versus my Chiefs, Texans should cover pretty easily here and keep it rolling. And the one threat that Cardinals do have right now, Jacoby Brissett, is he's going to try to feed Michael Wilson since Harrison Jr. has been out. But you got Stingley Jr. and Lassiter on the outside. They're not giving up much of anything nowadays. So it's definitely going to be – points are going to be at a premium for the Cardinals. And like I said, they know their season is over at a whopping 3-10 right now. Texans defense is going to put the clamps on them, and offense won't have to do much to cover this.
I'm looking at AFC South futures right now. Jags are minus 165. Texans are plus 150. Guess what the Colts are right now?
I think is it like plus 5,000 or something?
2,200. I'm looking at DraftKings right now, just the first sportsbook. First sportsbook I pulled up. 2,200. Yes, the interesting prices here. Bucks minus 300, Panthers plus 240. We're looking at the north of the AFC. Steelers minus 170, Ravens plus 170, Bengals plus 1,500, Patriots minus 550 to win the East, Bills plus 400. And that's kind of interesting because when we look at what's the standings right there? How many are they back?
The Bills are 2 games back, but they got
that's
New England this weekend.
I mean, like, because when you look at their schedule, I mean, the Patriots will have to probably because they have Bills, Ravens, Jets, Dolphins, and the Bills have
Bills got a tough, well,
Patriots, Browns,
look tougher.
Jets.
Yeah, the Eagles.
So,
Yeah,
I don't know. That 400 seems a little low for me, but my next one. Yeah, Jesus, I hate my life. I'm going to the Washington Commanders plus 2.5. All right, what do I say all the time? Gambling is about what? Buying low, selling high. That is the game. And right now, this is a perfect buy low spot. Commanders are coming off a game where they were shut out by the Vikings, and Jaden Daniels got banged up, may not even play. But here's the thing. Teams coming off a shutout cover 57% of the time. When those teams are underdogs, that number jumps to 62%. Road dogs, it climbs again to 64%. That is really value betting teams coming off a shutout. Case in point, the Vikings were shut out 2 weeks ago, came back, covered against the Commanders. This is the type of bet that wins long term. Another angle I always look for, got two bad teams. I'm always going to lean toward the dog. If both teams have a winning percentage under 25%, the underdog hits 58% against the spread, and when it's a dog on the road, 59%. Now we lay into the matchup. The Commanders run man coverage at the 11th highest rate in the league. Dart this season, just 50% completion percentage against man. POF and DVOA both have Washington graded as a better overall team. I'm getting points with a better team. Love that angle. I also expect Washington to lean on the run game, especially with Chris Rodriguez early. Giants are the worst run defense in the league per PFF and DVOA. Yes, they can create pressure, but whether it's Mariota or Daniels at quarterback, both these guys can extend plays and handle the pressure. Everything, the trends, analytics, situation, points, point one way. I am taking the Washington Commanders plus 2.5. Real quick, did you see that story that Abdul Carter was watching porn?
Yeah, that's why he got benched.
Like,
I thought it honestly went to the count because I immediately thought it was like one of those parody sports accounts.
Yeah, like what?
And it wasn't. I was like, "What's going on?" I don't know.
Like, it's like, come on, kid. Like, what are we doing here? Next bet, my friend, and if my boy TC is watching this, he is gonna love this one.
Man, if you're an Indiana sports fan, this has to be the best and worst year ever. Indiana Pacers, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, the Halliburton injury robs you of that opportunity. Colts, 8-2. Vibes are high. Trade 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Thinking about, which I didn't agree with, but there were talks of maybe extending Daniel Jones. I thought that would have been a mistake. But they were clearly all in. Jonathan Taylor looking like he could be an MVP dark horse. And talk about just the worst of luck. Who's playing? If Phillip Rivers suits up at quarterback this weekend at age 44 after being out for 5 years, just because I guess the story is he's been running the same offense for his son's high school and he talks to Steichen weekly, there's no way in hell he has success versus that Seahawks defense. And honestly, I mean, it's up for debate. I don't think he was going to get into the Hall of Fame necessarily. That's another argument for another day. But he's coming back for what? Probably 4 games? Because I don't think the Colts are going to make the playoffs now. And he's delaying his Hall of Fame another 5 years, his chances, another 5 years. And the even funnier, I guess I didn't even realize this past summer he signed a 1-day contract with the Chargers to retire a Charger. Yeah. And now he's coming back. Yeah, Mike McDonald should have that Colts offense in hell, whether that's Riley Leonard or 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. But yeah, Seahawks minus 13.5, and like I said, Indy fans, like, just gotta pray for y'all because it's just the worst luck. The highest of highs to the lowest of lows, just like that in football and basketball. Like I don't know how you can stomach that as a fan.
Hey man, don't hate on us old timers, dude. Rivers may just come out there. Dude, if Rivers, just think about that. If Rivers comes out there as just a fucking gunslinger and is just slinging the rock all over the place, literally, how effing funny is that going to be?
It would be hilarious. Honestly, if that happened, Seattle needs to call off their season. There's no – because he retired in what, 2020 or 2021.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell you can let him come in 4 or 5 years of not playing NFL football and just come in and torch you. Oh my god.
So here's the thing. Let me just run this past you. Okay. Hypothetically speaking, the Colts have, let me pull up their schedule. They have the Seahawks, Niners, Jags, and Texans left. Okay. For them to do anything right there, who's going to have the ball to control? Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
If you want to bet the Colts to win it, I think the angle is you take Taylor 150 to 1 to be the MVP. You know, am I wrong?
No, that's literally the only way possible.
He's going to have to just completely ball out of control, literally, for them to have any shot at doing anything. So, like, literally, like, if I'm looking to make a future, that is the future I am going to be making, dude. I am going to make that future, dude. I'm worried. Like, I bet my Lions not to make the playoffs, dude. They're in some shit, dude. They're gonna need a little help. They're literally going to need a little help to avoid not getting out of the playoffs, man. My last and final bet. I am going to Monday Night Football. Give me the Dolphins, dude. You know what I say all the time? We bet Tomlin as a dog. We fade him as a favorite. That's the rule. The numbers back it up. As a favorite, covering 48% of the time when he's at home, laying 3.5 or more. 48 again. Primetime home favorite, laying 3.5 or more, drops to 44. It gets worse. Tomlin, after beating the Ravens as a home favorite, 38% ATS. After beating the Ravens in general, 33% ATS. After playing the Ravens, sits at 47% ATS. Just a classic letdown spot. Now, I got to give credit where credit is due. I was low on this Dolphins team to start the season, but ever since Tyreek Hill went down with that season-ending injury, there's actually leaned into the run game, and it's working. And I know people are still living off the reputation with the Steelers' run defense, but this unit isn't the same. 17th DVOA against the run. PFF has them 15th. Meanwhile, Miami comes in with the 6th best rushing attack per DVOA, 9th best per PFF. Asian left the game early, but McDonald said he could have come back if needed. Monday, test came back clean, no fracture, clean MRI per Cameron Wolf of NFL Network. Pittsburgh is allowing 125-yard rushing per game on the season over the last 388 yards on the ground. I think the Dolphins are going to be able to run. You know, Steelers blitz at the 4th highest rate in the league. Per Summer Sports, Tua versus the blitz this season, 62% completion percentage, 4.5 TD to 1 INT ratio, 7.2 yards per attempt, a 0.274 EPA per play. Steelers also run man coverage, the 5th highest rate. Tua against man this season, 62% completion percentage, 7 TDs to 0 INTs, 6.1 yards per attempt, 0.48 EPA per play. The trends are pointing one way. The matchup is pointing one way. Everything is telling me to take the Miami Dolphins plus 3.5. And the thing that's crazy to me is this team was dead in the water.
Yeah.
I think McDaniel's done enough to save his job.
I was just about to say that. I think he saved his job.
I think his job is saved, dude. I think Mikey Mike is looking good, and this team is actually, I think he's going to come back and, you know, with HN, with Waddle, you know, build that offensive line. I mean, Jesus Christ, am I going to be back in the Miami Dolphins next year come some preseason futures? You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely crazy how stuff can just flip on a dime like that. Bryce, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your schedule, coming on, talking a little NFL. I always appreciate when you coming on. Always love it when I have a guest on and I can talk to you for an hour and it feels like 5 minutes, man. So I appreciate you, my friend. You and your boys are doing great work over at the I Need It Sports Pod. Why don't you tell everyone when it comes out, where they can find it and everything?
Yeah, so you can find us at the @name under my screen at INISPOD. We'll be live tomorrow at 8 Central Time to recap Week 14 of NFL. I'm sure my boy Cam's gonna have a low rant because his Texans just whooped up on my Chiefs. Swan is definitely gonna be on one because he's not happy about his Eagles right now. Chris with his Cowboys, he actually wasn't buying into all the hype. We both were like, this is a classic letdown spot versus the Lions last week, so should be a lot of fun. But we'll be live every Wednesday night at 8 Central. But definitely tune in tomorrow. Should be a nice little episode. And I know you pay attention for the little LJ's ladder, man. The Chiefs might be in the eliminated tier. I don't know. It's been that type of season, so we'll have to see.
I always tend to dip in a little bit. I was trying to educate you guys in the chat about the old Miss tailgates, and I'll tell you what, dude. Old Miss tailgates. I've been to one, and it was a dandy of a time at the Ole Miss tailgate. So make sure to check that out. I appreciate you, man. Look forward to having you on again. Good luck in your bets, and we will talk soon, my friend.